The Devil in the Details by James P. Sinclair. Read by Elena Crozen, Callum Woods, and James Sinclair. Exterior. Dark street, wet from the rain and lit by the street lights. Night. After lingering on the quiet street, a car races into frame, driving down the street. Interior. Inside the car, two young men in coats and suits sit in the front. In the back seat sits an ominous briefcase. The driver, Chris Wilson, has short blonde hair and is wearing a hat and leaves his red tie slightly loose. He's relaxing to the music being played in the car, bobbing his head to the beat. Beside him sits his partner, Patrick Kennedy, who is sitting quietly shuffling between various documents, outlining the current case they're on. He has long brown hair and keeps his tie and suit uniform. Finally, Wilson breaks the silence.
So, what have they got us after this time? Come on. You've been staring at those documents the whole 2-hour drive, barely said a word. You must have an idea of what this one is.
No, nothing concrete at least. The object was last seen at the site of the infamous Crowley Community Massacre, just 10 years ago. Kennedy looks at the picture of Object 1145.
Oh, right, I remember that. The whole town went crazy and ripped each other to pieces. Probably just the usual cult shit though, right? Like Jonestown.
Yeah, but Jonestown wasn't one day building a community garden and then the next ripping each other's throats out. Shows picture of before and after.
I don't know. Disputes between those plot gardens can get pretty ugly.
Wilson smiles and turns to Kennedy, proud of his joke. Kennedy looks at him and back to the papers. A little off taste, Wilson.
Oh, come on. I was just trying to lighten the mood a little bit. Alright, go on. So that phone last seen at the Big Town Massacre thing, where is it now?
Well, that's just it. There's no sighting of it until 5 years later when it shows up in the hands of one Marcus Emmleton, who was found dead in his running gear over 400 miles from his home. Only thing on him was the phone and his headphones that were still plugged into his ears.
400 miles? Puts my daily run to shame.
Well, that's not hard though, is it? Half a mile? It's not really a run, is it? More of a light stroll.
Hey, it's more often than not a full mile. A good 70% of the time.
It's very impressive, Wilson.
Oh, whatever. So what? Where are they saying it is now then?
Last seen with Adam Colders, a sandwich artist at Hosier's House of Meat. Delightful.
How does the Foundation even know about this stuff? This is one phone out of, what, a billion? How could they possibly pinpoint its location that well?
Are you kidding? This is the same foundation that has managed to keep an entire country hidden from public knowledge for over 2,000 years. I'm pretty sure they can find a phone if they want to.
There's an entire country that we've kept hidden from the public?
What? Yeah, of course there is. What level are you in the Foundation again?
3?
Oh, right. I keep forgetting that's not included on level 3 anymore. Well, it's no big deal. It's not really a big one or anything.
Not a big one. There's an entire country out there that we don't know about, and it's not a big deal. Well, what's it like? Why is it so secret, huh?
Just forget I even said anything, okay? It's really not as interesting as you think it is.
Not as interesting as I think it is. Forget it. Where's this Marcus guy now, anyway?
Hasn't been seen at work now for over a week. Not answering any calls from the manager either. Let's start at his flat. It's only 5 minutes away.
Sounds like a plan. Which way?
Take this next right and it's just up the street a bit. Exterior. Camera faces a dull block of flats with one blue light at the top window. Night. Kennedy and Wilson exit the now parked car and look up towards the block of flats.
Bet you this guy's somehow got a bigger flat than me.
Come on, let's check it out. Kennedy and Wilson walk up to the front door of the flats to use the buzzer. As he approaches, he reads out the flat number of Marcus's place. Flat 5. Kennedy presses the number for flat 5, receiving no answer. Alright, someone's got to be home. Kennedy starts pressing other flat numbers until he eventually gets a response from flat 3.
Hello?
Oh, hi ma'am. My name's Patrick Kennedy. I'm a friend of Marcus in flat 5. I'm really sorry to bother you like this, but I haven't heard from him in a couple of days now, and neither has any of his family.
Oh God, do you think he's alright?
That's what I wanted to check, but he's not answering the buzzer. I have a spare key he gave me, though, in case he ever lost his. But it's only to his flat, not the actual building. Is there any chance you could buzz me in real quick so I can see if he's alright?
Yes, of course I can. 1 second.
Thanks so much, ma'am.
No problem. I hope everything's okay.
As they enter, Wilson gives Kennedy a little smile and nod of approval to Kennedy's smooth talking.
I didn't know you knew Marcus.
Neither did I. Interior, Marcus's flat's building, high-angle shot from the top of the stairs looking down at Kennedy and Wilson.
Nothing odd so far, besides the colour. Who is this for exactly?
No idea. Wilson and Hendy start walking up the stairs towards the camera. As it gets closer to Wilson, we can see him looking slightly disappointed at the colour of the walls.
Like rancid cream.
Shot on the front door to flat 5 with Hennedy ready to knock and Wilson behind. Hennedy knocks on the door. "Marcus, are you in there? Hello?" After no answer, Hennedy takes out a small ring from his coat pocket and puts it on his index finger.
What is that?
The guy who gave me this one called it a corpse ring.
A corpse ring?
Yeah, it works like a skeleton key, but better. Since way back when the Foundation started, they've been messing about with this kind of stuff to help with the field work.
What? Magic rings?
Rings, watches, glasses, toothpicks, anything really. Either things we've found, studied and learned to control somewhat, or sometimes the boys in the labs do it themselves, using rituals and shit. They seal away certain paranormal events into objects, letting us use them when we please. This one opens doors. Hendy presses the ring to the lock, and we hear an audible as the lock mechanism slowly moves and unlocks the door.
Why didn't you just do that at the front door instead of the whole buzzer routine?
Hendy pockets the ring back in his coat. It's tiring using this stuff. Even just that made me feel like I went for a short run around the block. When I can, I prefer doing stuff the old-fashioned way. Alright, be ready for anything, but stay cool.
Got it.
Hendy and Wilson enter the dark flat cautiously. Interior. Marcus's flat. It's dark and an absolute mess. Washing up has been left out for what could have been weeks. We can hear flies. We have a shot of Wilson and Hendy coming up the stairs and then change to an over-the-shoulder shot to display the room. Looking around the bed and living area is a mess, as is the rest of the place. We change to a closer shot of the kitchen, washing up, and food left out for what could be weeks. Back to the shoulder shot as Hendy sees the body laying on the couch with the TV illuminating the scene. Marcus's body sits on the couch, slumped, with the phone seen in the photos of the case documents on the side next to him, with headphones plugged in and left in both of his ears. The light from the TV shows that his wrists have been slit. Shots of the phone on the couch and the wrist slit, and then back to Hennedy and Wilson for reaction.
Oh, Jesus. Shit.
Oh, fuck. I thought this might be the case.
You thought he'd be here with his wrist slit open like this?
I mean, I thought there was a good chance. Be dead, I mean, not specifically the wrists. Looks like we found our subject, at least. Wilson walking up to the body next to Hennedy and reaching for the headphones.
Looks like they're still plugged in.
Wait, I wouldn't do that just yet.
Okay. Why not?
The music's still playing? He's been dead maybe 3 days, but by the look of it. But the battery's still fully charged.
Huh. Yeah, that is weird.
You still got those earplugs I gave you?
Huh? Oh, right. Yeah, here.
Better plug them in. I think we got lucky with how small and dirty this guy's ears are. Even though it's playing, I can't hear a thing, but I can't be positive that'll be the case when I take the earbuds out.
Okay, Hennedy. I know you're not the biggest fan of music, but it's not going to kill you.
What makes you so sure? We have no idea what it is, what it does. All we know is it's been found at more than 3 crime scenes with over 50 bodies in connection with it. I'm not taking any chances, so put them on.
Jeez, I was just trying to keep it light.
Wilson says sheepishly while putting in his earbuds.
Are you going to pause this song at least?
Hennedy, more to himself than Wilson. I don't even want to risk doing that. Slowly, Hennedy takes out the earbuds from the man's ears and lifts the device into a plastic bag. After sealing the bag, Hennedy turns to Wilson and asks for his briefcase that he's currently holding.
I meant to ask you about the briefcase.
Yeah? What about?
Well, I know that we use them to temporarily contain possibly dangerous artifacts and even sometimes entities. But how?
Oof. Right, yeah, this one took me a while to fully understand. Okay, so our briefcases have 2 openings, right? One here on our side of reality, and another way off in a completely different dimension that was handmade by the Foundation, I think just a couple years after its creation. Think of that place as this vast, black, empty void. We can put almost anything there, and for however long we need, since time seems to work differently there than it does in our reality. Does that make any sense at all?
Right. Yeah, I get you. It's like Mary Poppins with her magic bag.
Yep, that's what it's like. Hennedy continues putting away the device in the briefcase on the ground.
Or Doctor Who's TARDIS.
Hennedy turns slowly and looks at Wilson incredulously.
It's bigger on the inside.
Hennedy turns back to the briefcase and closes the lid, and after putting in the code, we see a bright white light seep through the crack of the briefcase. Okay, that's that done.
What now? We're just done then? Back to base?
Well, we secured it, but I still have no idea what this thing actually does. Think we'd better meet up with whoever the Foundation's got down here on the analytical side of things. See if they can shed some light on our little friend here.
Sounds good. What do you want to do with this guy?
Huh? Oh, once we get going, I'll contact the Foundation, have them send down the cleanup team. They'll make sure there's no sign we were ever here.
Cool. So where are we going to go and get some help?
Hennedy stands back up with the briefcase in hand. The Foundation has a research site down here. Nothing fancy from what I've heard. It holds a dozen or so Class C objects, has maybe 3 or 4 people on staff.
And you think someone there will know about this thing?
I doubt they'll know about it, but someone there should be at least able to help us test it and get it ready for containment.
Alright, well then, let's get out of here before I'm sick.
Yeah, the smell's pretty bad, isn't it?
At least it goes with the colour of the walls.
Hennedy and Wilson begin walking back down the stairs. Exterior, camera faces the dull block of flats as Hennedy and Wilson exit the building. We slowly continue to pull back to reveal a shadowy figure watching them from across the street as they enter their car. As they drive off, the camera follows the man as he slowly walks to the middle of the road and watches them drive off. Night. Cut to next shot. Exterior. Low angle shot looking up towards a dull looking bureaucratic building. Hennedy and Wilson pull up into the entrance parking lot. Night. Exterior. High angle shot looking down towards Hennedy and Wilson getting out of their now parked car. Night.
I hate having to visit the research sites. These lab guys go on and on about temporal voids and other ethereal sciencey shit. I can never get my head around it.
We'll try and make it a quick stop. I want to get home and to bed anyway. Wilson and Hennedy walk into the building together. Interior. Inside the building, it is brightly lit and a woman sits behind a desk at the end of the hallway. Wilson and Hennedy walk up to the counter. Woman behind counter.
Hi there, welcome to the PWBA. I'm afraid all our services are currently closed right now, but we have plenty of pamphlets you can take with you.
Hennedy takes out his foundation card and shows it to the woman behind the counter. We're actually a part of the foundation, but I appreciate the discretion.
Yeah, what's PWBA?
It's what we tell anyone who comes in here asking what this place is. The Public Well-Being Advocates. It's not great, but it usually gets the job done. We all just call it People Will Believe Anything.
Nice.
Anyway, we don't mean to bother you at this hour, but we need some help analyzing a new object of interest. I don't suppose you have anyone in the research department still on shift, do you?
I've always got one on. Dr. Parrish should still be in their office.
Great, and where can we find that?
Just up the stairs and down the hall. You'll be able to hear the music. Never shuts the damn thing off.
Okay, thanks so much.
No problem, but let them know while you're there. I'm closing up the place in an hour, whether you're all still here or not.
Yeah, sure.
Hennedy and Wilson begin walking up the stairs to where the woman behind the counter directed them to.
She seems lovely.
Interior. At the top of the stairs are a set of doors and hallway with doors along the side leading to various rooms. At the end of the hallway there is one door open. From it the sound of classical lounge music is playing. Hennedy and Wilson walk down the hallway towards the room where the sound is coming from.
Here we go. Feel free to give me a slap if I start to fall asleep.
Will do. Hennedy and Wilson walk to the entrance of the room, where the camera pans to reveal Emily Perez, sitting at the desk reading from a book. A number of papers and other books are scattered on the desk in front of her. She looks up to see Hennedy and Wilson at the door.
Oh, hi. Sorry, can I help you? This office is actually closed. I was just finishing up some work.
Right, I'm sorry to bother you. We're actually with the Foundation. We're down here on assignment, and we're wondering if we could get your help. My name's Patrick Hennedy, and this is Chris.
I'm Chris Wilson. I've just started working with Hennedy.
Hennedy looks surprised and slightly raises his arms like, what? Just started working with me?
We've just come across an object of interest in the area and thought we could use some help analysing it and preparing it for containment.
Really? You've come across a new one here, and you want my help?
Well, anyone's, really? We were told you were the only one on staff right now. Can you help us at all, or...?
Hennedy, I'm sure she can help us. You can help us, right?
Me? Totally. I mean, I've never technically done an entire containment analysis on an object of interest by myself before, but yeah, I can totally do this.
Yeah?
Yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel confident. Let's get started then. Cut to shot of a book being put on the table as Emily begins going through pages. Interior. Small office-like room with books and papers everywhere. Emily sits in the middle of Hennedy and Wilson as she begins reading from entries in the book.
So, remind me of the case number again?
11:45.
Okay, yeah, I remember this one. Only 2 confirmed sightings. Now 3, I take it.
Oh, yeah.
Curious, most objects of interest we find are like broken tapes, consistently running through the same motions of actions time after time as if on a loop. Why has this one remained so dormant for such long periods?
Is that weird or something?
Just not something you see a lot. How did you find it exactly?
We found it on some nobody here in town, sitting right next to the guy's corpse, no less. The headphones were still plugged into his ears when he took his life.
Same as the second victim found miles from his home.
Right.
And at the Crawley Community Massacre, it was reported to be hooked up to the town's emergency speaker system.
Is that right? I didn't see that anywhere in the case file.
A ton of objects of interest were given stricter security measures in the past couple months. I'm not exactly sure why, but certain information has been redacted for field unit reports. Only level 15 Foundation agents are given the full reports now.
Right, and so how did you get it then?
I'm level 18.
Level 18. You're level 18. You've never done a containment analysis by yourself.
What level are you, Hennedy?
It doesn't matter.
12. He's 12.
How would you even know?
18, remember? Anyway, why does it matter if I haven't done one myself before? I clearly have the experience, or I wouldn't be the higher level than you, would I?
Not unless you knew someone.
Do you want my help or not?
Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Good. As I was saying, each of the cases involved the victims hearing some form of audio from the phone itself, each resulting in their eventual death. However, the cause of death for each of them is so varied that I can only guess that the audio is having some form of strong influence on the victims, each relating to the type of audio being played at each instance.
Right. So it's killing them.
No, not really. I mean, yes, the end product has clearly been death in each of these cases, but I don't know if that's always the case. From what you've told me and the details outlined in the case files, I think depending on what's played on the device, the victim is influenced by the themes of whatever they hear. Whether it's rage and built up energy brought on by heavy metal, or even the sense of falling in love from a romantic song, I think it imparts that very essence into its user.
How can we know if you're right?
Well, we're gonna have to test it.
What? Now? Here? Not that I'm not loving this collaboration we've got going on, but couldn't we get some rest and reconvene tomorrow? Maybe over some food and drinks?
I wish. Procedure says once a Class B object of interest is in pre-containment, agents are required to have it processed and contained within no less than 14 hours.
14 hours? Christ. And we don't even get benefits.
So, you up to getting this sorted so we can close the lid on this tonight? Emily turns around from gathering all her stuff off the table to then bring with her to the testing lab.
Oh, were we deciding if we were gonna do it? What did we say?
Interior, small audio room, separated into two parts, the booth and the mixer. Wilson, Hennedy and Perez walk into the room and begin to set up.
Alright, so which one of you is going to be my guinea pig?
Wilson and Hennedy share a look, both not wanting to really do it. Alright, tell me what to do.
So, I've placed the object in the testing chamber. From there, no audio from the phone will be able to reach us, no matter what happens. And better yet, through this console, I can operate the phone itself so we can try a couple different tracks.
Okay.
You just need to go in there, put the headphones on, and try and remain as composed as possible as you describe to me what's happening to you.
Alright, sounds easy enough.
And I'm just gonna lock this door behind you in case anything unexpected happens.
Unexpected? I don't love that. Emily closes and locks the door behind Hennedy as he enters the testing room. Wilson and Emily watch through the glass window as Hennedy sits down at the table and puts on the headphones.
Hey Patrick, can you hear me all right?
Yep, all good on my end. Let's get this over with.
All right. I'm going to play the first track. It's actually the same one that was being played when you found it on the victim.
Whoa, what? That guy had slit his wrists open when we found him with this thing. You sure that's a good idea?
It's fine. I have full control of the audio from here. I can shut it off at any time. I just want to see how the object's effects worked on the victims before he died.
Alright, just do it. Fine.
Alright, I'm going to play the track now then.
Emily starts the track. Music begins to play through the headphones as Emily and Chris wait for Patrick's reaction. Alright, it started. It's some sort of soft piano piece. It's actually kind of nice.
What's it making you think of? Are you feeling any way in particular? Patrick?
Oh, sorry, I zoned off there a bit. I was just thinking about something.
What about?
My granddad, he was this real great guy, you know? Like a real family guy. Every year he'd have everyone around his place. He made sure everyone would be there. Even if it meant threatening to never talk to you again if you missed it. He was incredibly stubborn like that. But that was just because he cared about the family and wanted them around. Henry's expression starts to turn as he seems to grow sadder the more the story he tells. After a while, though, he just stopped inviting everyone around. He started to have trouble keeping track of stuff. And slowly at first, like forgetting what time it is or just messing up someone's name. After a while, though, he couldn't even tell who my dad was anymore. I'd never seen my dad cry before, so after that first visit, when he looked my dad in the eyes, and looking back at him was this just empty, emotionless stare. After we got back in the car, he just sat there for, it kind of seemed like forever, just sobbing. We stopped visiting after a while. I think everyone did. Last time I saw him, my dad was finishing up signing some documents that put my granddad in professional care. And he was just sitting there in his chair, staring out the window. A fucking shell. Just empty. Kennedy looks up at Emily and Wilson. Is that gonna happen to me?
Alright, turn it off. He's had enough.
Okay, cutting off the audio now.
As Emily cuts the audio to Hennedy's headset, Hennedy seems to shake off the aura that was affecting his mood.
Patrick, everything all right now? Can you walk me through what just happened?
Patrick, now rubbing his head and eyes as if waking up from a nap, turns to look at Emily and Wilson. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not quite sure myself, though, to be honest. Everything was fine, normal, and then when you started playing that music, I don't know, I just immediately thought of that memory. I couldn't not think of it, it was so clear, as if it was just being played out right there, right there in front of me. I haven't thought about that in years.
Huh. That is interesting. I assumed the object would simply impart whatever emotional response matched with the audio being played, but it seems like it uses the victim's own personality and memories against it.
Is that better or worse?
Either, depending on how you look at it, it does explain how the object holds such a strong grip on the victim's psyche. Memories are something we hold with us all our lives. Seems to me like the object is tapping into its victim's unconscious desires, regrets, anything that the audio can draw up, basically.
Patrick starts to get up from the desk and removes the headphones, done with the test after the theory is suggested. Well, this has been fun, but I think I'm gonna have to second guess this whole human guinea pig thing. Let's get Chris in here for a test run, huh?
No way am I getting in there. I grew up with a family of wasps. I don't need some phone telling me I never got hugged by my mum or dad. I'm more than aware of that.
Both of you shut up and let's finish with the test. There's only 2 more I want to try anyway.
Fine, let's just get them over with then. Hit me with the next one.
Okay. This next one is titled In Your Heart. So I take it's a love song of some kind. So tell us any memories that it starts to conjure up.
It's a love song. I don't know how I feel about.
And let's start the song.
Emily starts the next track. The music begins to swell through Patrick's headphones, and his eyes widen as he seems to be filled with energy. Oh, wow. Wow, this song's incredible. It's got such an energy about it.
And Patrick, what's it making you think of? Any memories coming about?
Patrick, distracted by the music, turns to look at Emily, who's speaking to him through the glass. Phew, I don't know how you expect me to remember anything when looking at you. I mean, wow, you are just stunning. Emily's eyes widen as she realizes what is happening. Wilson laughs, never seeing Henry like this before. This makes Henry seem to notice Wilson there for the first time. Phew, hey, Wilson. That suit's really fitting you nice today. Wilson's smile quickly fades as he starts to look uncomfortable, Emily now finding the scene pretty funny. I know we're partners, but, should we...
No, we should nothing. Okay, this one clearly works. Should we switch it up?
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Emily switches off the power, and the two watch as Henry slowly returns to his senses. Oh, come on, you guys. Why don't you come in here and with me and was I just flirting with you?
If you could call that flirting, then yeah.
And me.
Yeah, okay, I think I'm done now with the test, Doc.
Oh, come on. There's only one more track I need to try. It's the same one that was played at the Crowley Massacre.
Oh, well, obviously I'm dying to hear that one.
I know this isn't what you saw yourself doing when you got this assignment, but before we can lock this one away, we need to confirm the dangers outlined in the case file. That massacre occurred after the object was hooked up to the town's emergency broadcast system. We need to know the effects it had on the town.
Fine, but I mean it. After this, whether we're done or not, I'm going to bed.
Fine. Just get ready.
Okay, all set. Emily begins playing the last track through Patrick's headphones. Heavy metal blasts through the headphones. Patrick looks visibly agitated and angry. He stands up and starts pacing in the room.
Patrick, what's happening?
Just give me a second, alright? Fuck. Patrick rubs his head furiously, looking very agitated, as if trying to fight off the object's effects on him.
Patrick, are you alright? Explain to me what's happening to you.
I don't fucking know, alright? Christ. All you analysts are the same. You have no idea what you're dealing with, and you just leave us all here to do the dirty work. Why the fuck am I the one in here, huh, Doc? Why me? Why don't I drag your ass into this room, sit you down, and play my playlist for a bit, huh? How would you like that, huh? Patrick flips the table in the room and starts to kick at the door, trying to break it open.
Shut it off now.
I'm trying. It's not working.
What the hell do you mean it's not working?
It's not responding to me. Something's wrong.
Just unplug the headphones then.
No, it'll start playing through here and affect us instead.
Shit.
Wilson starts desperately looking around the room for something, anything to help. The thump of Hennedy kicking against the door getting louder and louder.
Patrick, please calm down.
Finally, Wilson finds a pair of scissors and running back to the control desk cuts the headphone wires. Wilson stays sitting under the desk where he cut the wire, panting from running around. The thumping has stopped. Following Wilson coming out from under the desk and looking in the room, we see Patrick now sitting back at the desk, looking worn out and ashamed, embarrassed. Cut to the shot of the three sitting in the local cafeteria alone, quietly. Finally, Emily breaks the silence.
Patrick, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, the object just locked me out of using it. I don't know how or why.
It's fine, Doc. I knew the risk when I started this job. This was no different.
Well, I'm still sorry.
Hey, at least the object's all set for containment now, right, Emily?
Yeah, just about. While it's in your containment case, I just need to prep the monolith drone for its arrival.
As this is discussed, we watch as a shadowy figure walks into the shot of the briefcase sitting on a desk in the testing room, and the figure's gloved hands open the briefcase and take the object.
There's still a lot more tests to be done, but I can handle that another time. It is just curious, though.
What is?
Well, it's extremely rare for an object of interest to fight back, like this one seemed to.
That's true. I've never had anything like that happen with the objects I've come across with in the past.
Is that really such a strange thing?
The only time it's occurred before the object has found to be attached to a living entity of some kind.
Wait, like, it's a living thing? That phone's alive?
I wouldn't say alive, more like a receiver, and somewhere out there, something's holding the remote.
Hennedy sighs deeply while standing up and stretching. Thankfully, that's all above my pay grade. I just bag 'em and tag 'em. Come on, Doc, let's get this finished up. As the three walk back into the testing room to retrieve the object, they notice the briefcase has been left open on the table. What is this doing open?
I'm not sure. We definitely closed it with the object sealed inside before we left.
Well, it's obviously open now and the object's not here. Doc, who else would have come in here?
No one, seriously. You're the first people to come here for months. And no one else is on staff at night anymore.
Hennedy points at William as he thinks of other options. The secretary as we came in.
She must have seen someone come in.
Let's go. As the three run down the hallway back to the main entrance, the camera pans around the corner as they reach the front desk, to reveal the secretary hunched over the desk, blood pouring from a fresh cut to her throat.
Holy shit.
Hennedy looks out the main entrance doors and sees across the street a figure in all black gets into a parked car. There! Quickly! Hennedy and Wilson run out of the building. As they run to the car, Wilson realizes the tires have been cut.
No! They cut my bloody tires.
Hennedy comes to a stop and the two watch, out of breath, as the car vanishes in the night.
So, what the fuck was that? Who was that?
Hennedy running his hands through his hair and over his face. I don't know.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Hennedy just stares at him and then back at the road, still trying to make sense of everything. Emily is now standing outside with them.
I've called the foundation. They're sending the cleanup crew and told me to tell you to stick around town for the night.
Great. Do you know any place to stay for the night?
I'll call you to a cab to the hotel near the pier.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, thanks, Doc. Sorry about, all this shit.
Please, Hennedy. I've been in the foundation longer than you have, remember? I'm more used to this shit. Anyway, good night, boys. I'm sure I'll be seeing more of you. The cab should be here in just 5 minutes or so.
Thanks again, Doc.
Yeah, thanks. I like her.
Yeah, no shit.
Ha! So, anyway, what are we gonna do about everything that just happened? I mean, we've got a dead body in there, no object of interest, and all of a sudden some mysterious thief of all things that no one's even supposed to know about.
Don't ask me. I've been doing this for a while now, and it's always been pretty routine. Get the object, bring it back to the lab, and job done. I don't know what they expect us to do about this one. Hennedy's phone starts ringing. It's the Foundation. Speak of the devil, 1 second. Hennedy walks away from Wilson and the parked car to take the phone call. Hello, sir. Yep, that's right. Someone was able to access my personal containment case somehow and get away with the object of interest. But we're going to start looking for them first thing in the No, sorry, sir. I don't understand. You don't want us going after them? Right. Yep, right, okay. Understood. No, yep, sir. Once I receive them tomorrow, we'll get straight on them. Thank you, sir. Hendy looks over at Wilson, who's trying to stay warm by the car. No, no signs yet. Affirmative. I'll keep an eye on him. Thank you, sir. Hendy hangs up the phone and walks back to Wilson at the car.
So they pissed at us or
No, all good, but we have been reassigned.
reassigned? They don't want us going after whoever that was?
Apparently not.
Fuck me. I just don't get this job sometimes. Alright, so where are we going to go now?
Nowhere. We're being assigned over 11 different objects of interest that have been reportedly seen in the local area in the past decade. And we have the lucky task of going out and finding them.
Oh, great. So we're stuck here now.
For the time being, yeah. Here, let's get in the car. It's freezing out here. Hendy and Wilson both get in the car. Wilson turns on the engine to warm up the car a bit.
Great. Stuck here for God knows how long. Bet you will need some help finding all those objects.
I can only hope to guess who you have in mind, Hendy says as he lies back in his seat, closing his eyes.
Come on, you know she'd be a massive help.
We'll see. Just wait for the cab to get here, okay?
Fine, fine. Mind if I put some music on?
Seriously? After what just happened?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Silence in the car for a little bit too long. Oh, fuck it, just put it on.
Hey.
Cut to black, Wolf Like Me plays over the credits.